seat. The bike kept going, and he hit the ground rolling, got to his feet, and started running. He heard the screeching of their tires. He heard a crash. Then there were more gunshots, and he kept going. They were aiming over his head, but he didn't know it. They wanted him alive. After 15 minutes, he was backed against a wall of rock, and they were fanned out in front of him, and several had rifles, and they were all pointed in the wrong direction. He dropped the tire iron he held and raised his hands. "You got it, citizens," he said. "Take it away." And they did. They handcuffed him and took him back to the cars. They pushed him into the rear seat of one, and an officer got in on either side of him. Another got into the front beside the driver, and this one held a sawed-off shotgun across his knees. The driver started the engine and put the car into gear, heading back up 101. The man with the shotgun turned and stared through bifocals that made his eyes look like hourglasses filled with green sand as he lowered his head. He stared for perhaps 10 seconds, then said, "That was a stupid thing to do." Hell Tanner stared back until the man said, "Very stupid, Tanner." "Oh, I didn't know you were talking to me." "I'm looking at you, son." "And I'm looking at you. Hello there." Then the driver said, without taking his eyes off the road, "You know, it's too bad we've got to deliver him in good shape, after the way he smashed up the other car with that damn bike. He could still have an accident, fall and crack a couple ribs, say," said the man to Tanner's left. The man to the right didn't say anything, but the man with the shotgun shook his head slowly. "Not unless he tries to escape," he said. "L.A. wants him in good shape. Why'd you try to skip out, buddy? You might have known we'd pick you up." Tanner shrugged. "Why'd you pick me up? I didn't do anything." The driver chuckled. "That's why," he said. "You didn't do anything, and there's something you were supposed to do, remember?" "I don't owe anybody anything. They gave me a pardon and let me go." "You got a lousy memory, kid. You made the nation of California a promise when they turned you loose yesterday. Now you've had more than the 24 hours you asked for to settle your affairs. You can tell them no if you want and get your pardon revoked. Nobody's forcing you. Then you can spend the rest of your life making little rocks out of big ones. We couldn't care less. I heard they got somebody else lined up already." "Give me a cigarette," Tanner said. The man on his right lit one and passed it to him. He raised both hands, accepted it. As he smoked, he flicked the ashes onto the floor. They sped along the highway, and when they went through towns or encountered traffic, the driver would hit the siren, and overhead the red light would begin winking. When this occurred, the sirens of the 2 other patrol cars that followed behind them would also wail. The driver never touched the brake, all the way up to L.A., and he kept radioing ahead every few minutes. There came a sound like a sonic boom, and a cloud of dust and gravel descended upon them like hail. A tiny crack appeared in the lower right-hand corner of the bulletproof windshield, and stones the size of marbles bounced on the hood and the roof. The tires made a crunching noise as they passed over the gravel that now lay scattered upon the road surface. The dust hung like a heavy fog, but 10 seconds later they had passed out of it. The men in the car leaned forward and stared upward. The sky had become purple, and black lines crossed it, moving from west to east. These swelled, narrowed, moved from side to side, sometimes merged. The driver had turned on his lights by then. "Could be a bad one coming," said the man with the shotgun. The driver nodded. "Looks worse further north, too," he said. A wailing began, high in the air above them, and the dark bands continued to widen. The sound increased in volume, lost its treble quality, became a steady roar. The bands consolidated, and the sky grew dark as a starless, moonless night, and the dust fell about them in heavy clouds.